Hi, Danny.
Hi, Tim.
You talked in your statement yesterday about a burning desire to manage at the highest level. Was it that desire that made this too good an opportunity to turn down?
I think so. You look at Huddersfield Town and the history of the football club. You look at the current status in the Championship. I suspect that it's been a really difficult period for the football club, but that actually excites me because we like a challenge. We always felt that the next move would have to be the perfect opportunity, and we see this as the perfect opportunity. We feel that we can add value here. I think the opportunity to be the managers as opposed to head coach is very important to us because that's how we've always worked. It's always about building. We spent 8 years at Concord Rangers and built that football club from the bottom to the top with some really good people, and then again at Lincoln as well. And for us, I want to wake up in the morning with that feeling and that buzz and that excitement, and I look at the job in front of us and I can't wait to get started.
You initially turned down the opportunity to speak to Huddersfield, so what prompted the change of heart?
I think for us, as I said, it's about the perfect opportunity and the opportunity to be able to work in the way that we work. Now we've had some good successes over the last. Well, this is our 13th season as managers, and we've always been able to be able to do it the way we saw fit. I think it's about building a football club, and having the opportunity to be able to affect the club, not just the players on the grass, but to affect the whole football club from the academy, the right the way through the community, which you know are going to play a really important part on the next step of this journey. So to be able to do that, to have control over recruitment is very important to us. We've got some wonderful staff already here. We've got some really good players. I think everybody at the club has been through the mill and found this season and last season really challenging. But you know, the way the staff have conducted themselves throughout this period, I think you learn a lot about people in the face of adversity. When your back's against the wall, that's when you learn most about people, and the way the staff have conducted themselves through this period has been exemplary, and we really look forward to working with them. And then obviously you look at the supporters and just the way that the supporters, particularly in both years in the Premier League, when certainly they didn't always have it their own way on the pitch, they just stayed with the players, stayed with the management team. They were right behind them. When things went well, they drove their energy. When things didn't go so well, they stood side by side them. And I think you know, we had an amazing connection with the supporters at Lincoln City. We'll be forever grateful for the contribution that they played in our journey, and we look forward to slowly but surely building that relationship with Huddersfield Town supporters.
You created a winning culture at Lincoln. How do you go about changing the culture here, where the players in the last 12 months have got used to losing games?
Well, I think the culture is very important for us. The foundations are always our values. We're family people. We've always had working class roots, certainly working class values that our parents have instilled into us, probably with middle class benefits if we're honest, but certainly working class values, and for us it's always the values that build the foundation, and they're the non-negotiables. So relentless in your work ethic, always humble, and I think humility is so important. We respect that the club enjoyed 2 years in the Premier League, but the reality is we are we're now a championship club, and we're now right at the bottom in a relegation place in the championship. So I think we've all got to be really aware of where the club is at. And if you can be really aware of where the club is at, and you can be clear on the vision and where you would like to take the club, once you've got the start point and you know the destination, putting the stepping stones in place become that much clearer. So I think that is really important. Certainly, humility is one of the greatest qualities, along with enthusiasm, and they with respect and discipline are our core values. And once you've got the values, then it's just the processes. And for us, communication, I think we need to give the players clarity. We're respectful that the club haven't won as many football games as they would have liked in recent times. I don't personally believe one win will change everything. I just don't believe that. What I do believe, if you want to affect the mentality and the confidence of the players, you need to get clarity. They need to have understanding of how you want to work, and then you've got to get alignment. So for us, in the short term, it will be giving them a clear way of playing that sets them up for success. And I think if we can build that through good planning, through good communication, and through trying to help and educate the players. Ultimately, Nicky and I are player-centred. We love football. We feel so grateful that we can wake up every morning doing something that we love and enjoy. We feel amazingly privileged to be able to work with some top players now, and we're going to try to try to earn their respect, try to build the trust. Once we do those two things, then the key for us will be to try to affect and influence them and just help them be successful.
You mentioned the confidence of the players, trying to get that back into them. How difficult a job do you think that's going to be with just one win since the turn of the year?
Yeah, I don't think it will be easy. If we thought this job was easy, then we wouldn't have taken it. We want to be challenged. I want to live life. We've had an unbelievable journey and life to this point. Certainly the safer option would have been to stay at Lincoln, at a club that we loved and we felt an unbelievable connection with at every level. We had a brilliant board, a fantastic group of players, terrific staff, and a support base which was just the support was just simply unconditional. So it would have been easy to stay, probably a lot easier to stay, but we're not interested in making the easy decisions. We want to make the right decisions, and we want to test ourselves. And I want the feeling of really living. I want that moment. You've only got to look at the next game, Sheffield Wednesday, West Brom. I want that moment when your back's against the wall and you're facing adversity. That for me that's really living, and that's what I'm looking forward to. We need to give the players some clarity and get some processes. And I think if you give them real clarity and you build consistent processes, and they all are aligned with that, and you find a way of playing that sets the players up to be successful, then in that moment they start to build confidence. Now they're not going to go from where their current confidence levels and belief levels are to here, but slowly, surely, gradually, we will get them there, because there's no doubting that they're good players, and there's no doubting that this is a wonderful football club. We've just got to remind everybody again.
Is it a different man management challenge that you might have here, working with some players who have been in the Premier League? Some might even still feel they should be in the Premier League themselves already at this stage. The players that have been coming up the league.
Well, there'd be no entitlement here. For us, we've had to work really, really hard. We've come from humble beginnings. Our pathway is something that we'll always be massively appreciative of, because we've been able to learn so much, and as a consequence of where we've come from, we value everything that we have. Humility is so important to me. Just people being humble. People, when we do well, we'll work even harder. When the players are successful, then we'll want them to be more successful. So just that ability to keep wanting to get better. I look at all the top players in the world, and they all have an unbelievable amount of humility. So I think that is important. We, like I said, we just need to this early phase for us. In business, I think they talk about 30, 60, 90 days. In football, you don't always get as long. So maybe we're talking 15, 30 and 45 days. But certainly in this initial process, it will be to audit the club, to see what's good, because there's no doubt some really good processes already in place. We'll run with those. We might even run with the average ones because of the time frame that we're working within. But certainly we'll look at the areas that we can affect and we can get some quick wins and where we think we can have the most influence. And then we'll look to implement those slowly but surely. We only make change for significant gain. We're all human beings, none of us like change. So when we do make change, we only do it for significant gain. So we'll be looking to see where we can get those wins. And the environment's a simple one. We just try to create an opportunity where the players can play at their best every week, consistently and relentlessly.
And on that front then, if you ask for assurances for January, if you do need to change things in January from Phil Hodgkinson, are you going to be able to do that, do you think?
I think Phil's been brilliant in the process, I have to say. We wouldn't have taken the job if it wasn't for Phil. I think it's about choosing your chairman, football management. We had Clive Nates at Lincoln City and Bob Dorian before him. Clive, unbelievable integrity, honest, an incredible man, someone that I will be forever indebted, and Nicky, I know feels the same. Phil is a Huddersfield Town supporter, and that to us is very, very important. He has the club's very best interests at heart. With having spoken to him, I know how much this club means to him. I know how desperate he is to make this club successful. And let's be honest, he took the club in a difficult moment. A lot of other people would have shied away from particularly after the where Dean had been able to take the club in previous years. But in the hour of need, he took the club, and I know he's hugely ambitious and so keen to get it right. And for us, we're going to work relentlessly hard to help him achieve his objectives.
Danny, Nicky, congratulations on the job. Just want to ask Nicky, you create a real sense of civic pride at Lincoln. Are you looking to do the same sort of thing here at Huddersfield? Is that your idea of what management entails as well?
I think so, yeah, that would be great. We had a fantastic connection, not only with the players and the staff at Lincoln, but the wider community as well. And one of our first aims when we drove into the gates at Sincil Bank was to try to readdress the young people who were maybe wearing different shirts and wearing Lincoln shirts at the time. And I think that in football you have a real responsibility and a privilege, in fact, to bring real joy and pleasure to people's lives, and none of us should underestimate that. Danny and myself are lucky enough to take good advice from our parents, and they always encouraged us to work in an industry that we really enjoy and one that we're passionate about. And that obviously started in teaching, which has now developed into football, and we speak every day so passionately about this sport, and we absolutely love it. And if we can affect and change people's lives for the better, that would be great to do that. And I think now for us it's about realising where we currently are and where we are on the table, and having no sense of entitlement at all. The past has happened, we're here to try and affect the future, and it's we'll need everyone alongside us to be able to achieve that, and that's the people inside this field in terms of our players and staff and directors and chairmen, but most importantly our supporters. Now, I've had the pleasure of watching back every single game of Huddersfield's season so far this year, and one thing that did really impress me was the way the supporters have stuck with the players, even though it's been difficult in some matches. you know, particularly the recent home match against Reading, I felt the first half the supports were fantastic, and we're going to really need them behind us, especially, you know, looking forward to this Sunday.
Danny, you referred to the importance for you of being managers rather than head coach. Did anything change in that respect between the first contact with Huddersfield and the second?
Yeah, I think that was the big change. Just we spoke with Dave and obviously to Phil, and for us it's got to be a long-term project. Just winning on a Saturday is not enough for me. I know it'd be probably enough for some Huddersfield Town supporters at this current moment, but it's not enough for me. It's always it's winning on winning. So if you win on a Saturday, then we know what football management is. It's a crazy industry. You have to win to give yourself time. That's just how it works. But winning creates us the time to be able to affect and create and develop something. We want to achieve sustainable success, and we're absolutely clear on the vision for Huddersfield Town. I'm totally aware of where it's at. I know where I want to go, and for us, it's going to be a gradual process. You know, first and foremost, we're in a relegation battle. There's no hiding place. We know what the statistics say for teams that are in this position at this time of the season in the Championship. We know how it ends up, and we've got to try to affect the future.
It's bizarre, isn't it? There's only 6 places, I think, between the team you left and the one you joined. And let me tell you, it was probably the most difficult decision of our lives because just of our relationship with the people of Lincoln, and it's for Nicky and I now in the little puddle that we live in. It's been a fairy tale. There's no hiding place from that, and we'll be forever appreciative of the people at Lincoln. But I want to live, and I can't die wondering. So this will be the 8th division of the top 9 that Nicky and I have managed in, and we feel that this is the next step to get to the 9th division. And can you clarify? I mean, you were heavily linked with Sheffield Wednesday. Can you clarify what the situation?
Yeah, there's been lots of interest and lots of speculation, which I think is credit to Lincoln City and what we did there. There was lots of speculation in the summer, and there's been lots of speculation this time around. There was no contact from Sheffield Wednesday with Lincoln City. So for us, the decision, because of what we had at Lincoln, was never about anything else than finding the perfect opportunity, and it was about being aligned with the club's ambitions, being aligned with where the club felt they were currently at, and what the foreseeable future looked like, working with people that we feel that we can trust and that are honourable, and that's something that's non-negotiable with us. And we feel that we have that at Huddersfield Town, and that gives us the tools to hopefully achieve similar successes that we've had at Concord Rangers, at Braintree Town, and at Lincoln City.
Danny, you've mentioned a few times being clear in your vision of where you want to take this club. Can you specify for fans where do you want to take this club? Is it the simple answer, or is it the 9th division? Is it as simple as that?
I think for us the short-term objectives are to try to find a way to play winning football. So I think what we have to do is to try to affect the group and give the group clarity. In the short term, it's definitely to try to retain our status in this division. I think, like I said, we have to be clear on where we're at and where the club has been in recent times. It will then be about trying to build a competitive team in the Championship, and then from there we'll have the foundations to be able to push on. And you have to dream big, don't you? You know, Nicky and I started in the Essex Senior League, step 5 of non-league football. you have to believe in football miracles, and they've happened here once before, haven't they? In recent history, anyway. So you have to believe.
Can you see lessons in your working life as a teacher when you went in and you big aims to fulfil, and can you take that sort of experience into this sort of task you've got?
I will be forever appreciative of the pathway that we've had and our teaching backgrounds, the opportunity to build our skill set. A dressing room is just your naughtiest school classroom. It's your Friday period 5 school classroom with your year 9 group. So no, it's you naturally are able to transfer skills across. People are people. They're human beings. Footballers want to be successful. They want to win, and all we've got to do is remind them how.
Your shoulders getting brains when you went there. They were tipped to be down at the bottom, and you achieved massive success there. You proved you can sort of confound expectations, and this was that.
I think so, yeah. I think it's just about understanding where you are at a club, and first and foremost, it's about the immediate gains that we can get, and to try to generate some momentum and some enthusiasm and some feel-good factor back into the place. And regardless of the clubs that we've had previously, what has never changed is our values and what we stand for. And we're both really hard-working, committed individuals that I can promise you will wake up in the first second, like we did this morning, and think of Huddersfield Town, and in the very last second before we go to bed tonight, we'll be thinking about Huddersfield Town and how we can develop and improve. And we're really excited about this opportunity, not just for ourselves, but for everyone in the community to try to bring some positivity back to the football club.
You want to put your stamp on it, but you're obviously aware of when David Wagner was here and he worked at Town, massive figure in these parts, and that's something that you sort of try to replicate, but in your own way, I would have thought.
I think you're always trying to learn from successful people, aren't you? We're always watching and learning and trying to find ways of improving. You look at all of the successful managers and you're always looking at how they deal with different moments, looking at their processes. But ultimately, you've always got to be yourself. You've got to be true to yourself. You have to live and die by your own sword. And without doubt, we've been lucky enough to have, especially in recent times, contact with some fantastically successful people within the world of football. And we've taken lots from them. But for us, it's always be ourselves.
You plan to move to the area soon?
Yeah, so for us, our family's moved to Lincoln. They're now living in Lincoln. So we did it in about an hour and 10 minutes yesterday morning. After it was important for us yesterday to go and speak to our staff and the players, and leave in the right manner, because we wouldn't be here today without their unbelievable commitment and contribution. And then we travelled up. It was just over an hour. For us, certainly, our wives are already looking at schools for the children in and around Huddersfield. Our parents will come to every game, so they've never missed a game yet. We don't expect them to this time around, so they will travel up and down the country watching. We're a football family. We love football, and it always dominates our household.
Dave, just a quick one. Dan has obviously described that sort of importance and difference between a head coach and a manager in terms of sort of job description. And obviously it took a little bit of negotiating to get to that point. Can you talk about that from the club's point of view and kind of what the hold-up was, if there was a hold-up over those talks?
Yeah, I wouldn't say necessarily it was a hold-up. So sort of when I first come in, obviously you had a change, so we had to go through a little bit of a process. So we had to do like a shortlist. So within that process, I think for me, you look at the club, you look at where it is, then you identify sort of like key components that you're looking for in a head coach. So I think when you do that, your shortlist becomes very small. So there's probably only 4 or 5 people within that. And I think from the start, Danny and Nicky was always our number ones, because I think what they represent in not just success in football, but as people. Huddersfield Town is a working class club. It's a community-based club, and I think they really represent those values. So initially with us, myself, Phil and King members of staff, we highlighted Danny and Nicky early. We went after them, we was aggressive in trying to get them. I think within that we come to a point where we had good discussions. Nicky and Danny felt they wanted to continue their work at Lincoln, which was, we fully respected that. But from our point of view, we knew they was our guys. So we wasn't going to let up on that. We continued to chase them. And I think, that role of sort of manager and head coach I would say is the role that we've had before with Jan and David Wagner. So I think for Danny it was important to have that sort of clarity of that management role, to have that, especially for the players and where the club is at the moment. So I think that was quite an important factor.
You very much come as a pair. For those who perhaps haven't followed your career as a pair, how important is the relationship between the two of you and the fact that you do come together to what you've achieved and what you hope to achieve?
Well, it's important to our mum and dad. But no, I think for us, we obviously are used to working together. We talk together. We've kind of lived our whole lives in each other's pockets. We know how we have complete clarity and understanding and alignment. Different skill sets, and maybe different characters, but always aligned on the values and the processes. Most importantly, we have trust, and in the crazy world of football, that's a commodity that's hard to find.
And is that important to you, that whatever happens, you've got each other?
Always.
I think we have a strong bond, but we're very much looking forward to getting a bond with all of our staff and players, and once you connect with people, that's when you can really start to make changes for the better. But first and foremost, you need to connect with people, and you need to, particularly with the players, not only understand them as performers, but also what they're like off the pitch as well, and what their life stands for, what their life looks like. And once you start digesting all of that information, then you can really understand more, and that's when that connection can happen. And we've got a fantastic relationship, and it's a privilege for us to work together. And I'm sure our parents absolutely love coming to matches, and not it'd be hard for them to split in different directions if we work for different football clubs. So it keeps it far more simple in that respect. But we share a great relationship, and we're very much looking forward to making good relationships with other people.
And you have been linked with a lot of jobs in the last couple of years with the success that you've had and on the way up. How important is this move to you? Because I'm sure you could have moved earlier, but this is the one.
Yeah, it was about finding a place where we had alignment in terms of ambition, we had alignment in terms of the processes, and the opportunity to work with some really good people. They were all the fundamentals. It was, like I said, an incredibly tough decision to leave Lincoln City, particularly at this time, because when we start something we like to finish it. But you never want to live with regret in this world, and the opportunity to manage in the Championship, we've now managed in 8 of the top 9 divisions in this country, and that's been a wonderful experience. The Championship is just a brilliant, exciting level, and we're looking forward to seeing if we can repeat the success that we've had lower down the leagues.
I guess you'll be nervous, won't you? You've been at Lincoln a long time. You've got to win people over there, so it's going to be. Is it exciting and nervous at the same time?
I think we believe in our skill set and our work ethic, and I say that humbly, but we do. So I just believe life's for the living, and I don't feel nervous or apprehension. I just feel excitement.
Have you always got on so well together, or do you have happy moments?
We had a fight when we were about 7, didn't we? But, no, I think we both know our own mind the great thing about our relationship, you can be brutally honest and you can have a brutal conversation, you can get to the answer really quick, you can fall out and rebuild within the matter of moments, and that's just
I think it's easy, it's
nature of
really
brothers.
easy to have relationships when you can speak and say things that people want to hear. For Dan and myself, we say what needs to be heard, and that's a good place for us.
We're always living the truth.
David, you've walked straight into the club and gone straight into the recruitment process pretty much on your first day.
Yeah.
Now that you've got these gentlemen here in the job, what's your priority now?
Well, yeah, it was kind of a fast-paced start. I've never had one quite as quick as that, but yeah, no, it was really good to get them in place and get sorted. So now, I think for me, I'm sort of pretty new as well. So I've only been sort of here sort of 2 weeks and 1 day now. So I think for me, it's just to get acquainted with the staff, get acquainted with the processes, and really get down to sort of the operational day-to-day role, and sort of look forward and try and build some success with the football club.
You say you've watched all the town games sort of over the last few days. Do you feel like you've got a good understanding of where the issues are and what you think needs solving immediately?
I think we've got a view that's looking from the outside in, and we're very respectful of that. In this interim period, as I said, we will audit the club. We will speak to everybody from the tea lady up to the chairman. Everybody gets treated with the same level of respect. We will listen a lot. Try to get a real understanding and a real feel of the temperature, and then off the back of that information, then you can make intelligent decisions. I don't think you can, make intelligent decisions until you're on the inside. We're due to meet the players at 10 o'clock this morning. We've changed the schedule slightly. We've obviously only got 13. We've got 13 players that will train today. We've had some that played last night, and we've obviously got a number out on international duty. And I think the great things, we won last night to start. The boys on international duty have had some successes as well. So there'll be a small group that train today, and then it'll be about us having individual meetings with those players, speaking to them, and trying to learn about them as people. And like I said, it's all about building the respect, gaining each other's trust, which I think is so important in any human relationship. Once you've got that, then you can start to affect and influence and help. And if we can do that individually and collectively, then we'll get some gains. And if we can get some gains, and we can get the supporters right behind us, then maybe we can just change the fortunes.